Alright, so this has already been cleaned. I'm just gonna take off these handles. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reuse these or find something else to go on it. I haven't decided yet. I got this shelf here. I'll turn it towards you with the 2 drawers. I yard sale this weekend for $1. These tend to sell fairly well. Of course, now I have this stuck in there. All right, so this I'm going to paint Dixie Belle's Sea Glass. That's the jar. Again, this has already been cleaned and prepped. It's ready to go. It's raw wood, so this will actually probably absorb quite a bit of paint. We're gonna get this a nice, fun, bright color. And you can hear the toddler in the background. She is currently picking up her blocks and has a bit of a back to school cold she caught from the kids.
Mom, I love Rosie. He's my friend.
Yes, he is.
And we could be. There's a bit.
Okay. So we'll probably do some speeding up through this video, so you don't have to sit and watch me be all boring. Molly, leave her alone. Molly is our very rambunctious puppy. She usually during the day is pretty good because she knows Shar isn't as active as the boys are. But she is definitely wanting to play, which means it'll probably be a good day to take her for a walk.
I want to go for a walk.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that after lunch.
Okay. I wish I need to go get a t-shirt for lunch.
Okay, go get one.
Wait.
What, girly?
Mom?
What, baby?
And now you just we got tissue to store.
Yeah, there's tissues in my room, or there's tissues down in my bathroom in the closet.
Mommy?
What?
Where's Mommy going?
Molly's not going anywhere.
Yeah, here. Here's Mommy.
Huh?
Mommy's not going anywhere. Yeah, kitty.
Yeah, she's not going downstairs.
Yeah, kitty.
She's not.
There you go. Mommy, you had to wait 5 minutes, okay?
All right, what are we waiting 5 minutes for?
The hamburger.
The hamburgers. Are you making Play-Doh hamburgers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're good.
They are so good.
Oh, I think it's ready. Whoa. See, Mom? Mommy, look.
Oh, good job. That looks like a perfect hamburger.
Yeah? And we had to get the best. Mommy, look! It's a starfish!
It's a starfish? Oh my goodness.
Maybe I want to get out the hamburger. You want some?
I'll have some in just a little bit. Let me get this work done, girly.
Okay, so we get with. Mom, do we hear something?
Yep, I heard our kitty.
What's his name? His name?
You know which kitty that was. Which kitty was that, Charlotte?
Marty?
No.
What is that name?
What's our other kitty's name?
Chip?
Yeah.
So why should I say that?
Why can't you say that?
Because he's nobody I know it is, Mom.
She is being noisy, huh?
Yeah, he is.
She is in full-on weird hunting mode.
But you want to say that with starfish? I think that Chip makes it crying. Okay, Mom.
Yes.
Mom, I think the kid is crying.
Yeah.
Because Chip is real. I'm gonna get her a carrot.
You gonna get her what?
Get Chip.
No, she's fine downstairs. You don't need to bring her upstairs.
But why?
There's no reason for her to be up here right now.
Mommy,
Hmm?
in those getting hot?
It's not gonna be too hot today. Why?
Yeah, it is. What? Mommy, it's hot.
It's hot today?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mommy, we had to wait for the starfish. Okay, now it's ready. Whoa, look at the starfish. Mommy, what?
Hold on, baby girl. Let me see. Oh my goodness.
It is so yummy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the hamburger. Okay, now let's start another one. We make mushroom, meat, burrito, and hot dog. It's this. What is that? Well, that's one for the mushroom. I just said it. Mommy, I think something's
Got a good start on it. I don't know if you can see.
another Play-Doh. It's a purple Play-Doh. Look, Mom, I found another one.
Oh, that's a pretty color. I love that color.
Yeah, it's purple. So we can use that purple.
It's a pretty rustic piece. Looks to be handmade by somebody. I got it at a yard sale from an older couple.
Wow.
And do you like this color?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to go on it.
Yeah?
Maybe today.
Well, let me finish painting and we'll figure out.
I mean, that's too small for me.
It's too small for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe too big.
What's it for?
For yourself?
Oh no, we bought this at a yard sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we want to play Play-Doh.
Then go place your Play-Doh.
Well, this was Play-Doh as a cat. Look, Mom. See, Mom.
I see.
This was Play-Doh as a cat.
Yeah. Let's get this turned around and do this other side.
It's the other side. To get the purple out.
You'll see me misting my brush. This type of paint really works best when you've got a nice damp brush to work with. It just really helps it level out and smooth it out. On this piece, I guess it's not so necessary, but for me, it works better over these rougher corners. And something like this, I typically will paint the back because I'm not sure if it'll be on a countertop, if it'll be hung on the wall, or if they're gonna do it with this part facing down or facing up. It's got so many possibilities that we will go ahead and just make sure the back is painted, just in case it is a countertop piece for whoever buys it.
Me.
And with this paint, I don't look for full coverage on that first coat.
Yummy.
I'm just trying to get some on there, and then we'll let it all dry out and then go from there.
I think it's ready. Oh, it's so cool. I'm gonna put it on the head maker. We have black, red, and purple. The last one is black. Mommy.
What's up, girly?
What is this?
That looks like the bun for the hamburger.
Oh. Can I make a bud?
Absolutely.
Okay, Mom. I'm gonna make a bud. Mommy, I see that picture. Look, it's flooding.
Oh my goodness.
It's on the fridge.
Yeah?
That's flooding.
Who did that one?
Me, that's me.
You did that one?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, really?
And this is raw unfinished wood on this, just like a backer board. So it's gonna take the paint up probably a little bit differently than these hardwood pieces are. But we're gonna still get it all covered and smoothed over.
Maybe I want to make meat. I said but Mommy will have to wait. Oh, let's take it ready. Whoa. Oh, keep it good way. Okay. We have blue, we have black, we have red, we have purple and blue. Mommy, I think I want white.
You want white? Do you need it open?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a sec here.
This one here.
There you go.
Thank
Take your cup.
you. Diane.
Yep. I do have an old tablecloth down on the table too, so I don't care. If this one gets paint on it, it does not happen to fit our table. It was a yard sale find for $1, I think I paid for it. Not a big deal. I tend to buy old sheets or old tablecloths to use for my drop cloths when I'm working inside. And typically I'm working downstairs in we have like a little kitchenette area in our house, and that's typically where I work, but it is really packed as I'm trying to get ready for this fall festival I'm doing this upcoming weekend at an apple orchard. And I've got stacks upon stacks of projects in different stages, and
Mommy,
I wanted to get some painting done this morning so that I could get to the other stuff this afternoon. When it's just me and the toddler home, I have a harder time going down there and just working, even though there's a TV down there and she can watch stuff. As you can tell from her playing with her plate over there, she likes to be active too, and she likes to be involved with stuff. So she does a little bit better if we're up here, upstairs, where she has her crayons and her color books and her Play-Doh and all of that good stuff. And I really, once I get it organized down there, should set up a PlayStation for her down there. So she's got all of her stuff down there as well.
Mommy, I could make mushrooms.
You're gonna make a mushroom?
Yeah. It's
For
like
your
pizza.
hamburger?
Yeah, it's like pizza. Look. I can't open it, Mom. Mom, I can't open it.
Okay.
Mom.
There you go. Take your cup.
Whoa.
I'm going to do the sides of these drawers so that when they're pulled out, you get the same color continuity. I don't always paint the sides. It kind of just depends on the piece. But this one, since it's so rustic and raw, I think it'll just help give it that finishing touch that it needs.
Mommy, we had a wait. Oh, I think it's ready.
Ooh, good job.
Whoa, that's so good. Mommy, I make you a hamburger.
Ooh, I love hamburgers.
Mommy, it's coming. Look, Mom.
Ooh, holy moly, that's the best looking hamburger ever. Let me see.
It's black and white, purple, white.
Does that look great or what? It's tasty. Did you try it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You definitely should. It is delicious.
It's so good.
It does smell really good. It smells like a very good hamburger.
Yeah, maybe no problem. Well, Mom, it's so high. Maybe I can make another one.
You gonna make another one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that rolling pin.
You gonna use your rolling pin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for the pin. Okay. So I'm gonna make another hamburger. Whoa! Be careful. Okay. Crazy. No. No. What is white? Oh. Oh, here. Two. And two.
So I haven't decided on this piece exactly what I'm gonna do with it, other than this is the base coat. This is as far as I've gotten as far as my creative process on this one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do some color blending or just leave it and distress it, or exactly what I'm gonna do yet, but I just need to get all these first coats on all these pieces I have sitting up here. I have this one I'm working on. I have a really cool bread box I want to get done today. And then 3 wooden trays that we are also going to stencil so that they can be used. Okay, so I had to take a phone call. Sorry about that. And while I was on the phone, I finished up one of these trays. This is in birch wood, which is just a really pale, like a grayish, just a normal, very basic color here. I've got 3 of these that I picked up at Goodwill this week. We're gonna get these painted up and then put a stencil in these, and then you can either use them as a tray for decor, for serving, or hang them on a wall. Either way would work. So that's what we're doing with these. And this one here is gonna be pink blue. So another shade of blue. This one's a very pale, very pretty blue. I'll go ahead and use this one. And toddler is now watching TV, so if you hear that in the background, I apologize. And while we're doing that, I also got these. I think I got these at a yard sale. There's this one and then a shorter one. And the shorter one took the paint really well. It's just a spray paint, chalk paint. And this one's got some rust bleed through on it. So I'm trying to decide what to do. I don't know if you can see the color coming through on that, but I'm gonna spray this down with a shellac to block that in and then repaint it. I don't know if I'm gonna go white or go navy or a fall color though. This will be a fall color for sure. And then I've got one more tray, so this will be black, but I'm gonna wait till last because I also have a bread box which is sitting on this chair next to me, and that bread box is gonna be black as well. So the bread box we got at an estate sale and paid $5 for it, and it is super cool. I absolutely love it. It's got 2 little compartments that'll be perfect if somebody would rather use it for storage than for their bread products. Super cute. You'll see in just a second. And then these trays will, don't know if I'm gonna do fall or holiday stencils on these. I haven't really decided. I usually pick out my colors on the signs and the trays like this. I'll pick out colors first and then from there decide what to put on them. And I've got pretty much anything I can put on these. I've been in a sign making mode and have a box of them completed that I had hoped to get video while working on them, and I didn't. I was in full-on work mode this weekend on Friday and Saturday, and I just didn't get the opportunity to get video of that. I just was half done when I thought about it, and then I was like, well, we'll just save that for a different day. But what I'll do is get it painted up. If I need it distressed, I'll distress the piece I'm working on. Get it painted, and then from there I will go to my phone. I have a Cricut, and I use my phone for the design app for that, and I will design up a bunch at a time. I typically do the big mats, and you have the option to do it in a 12 by 12 or a 12 by 24. I will try to do a 12 by 24 to get the most out of my vinyl and the most out of my time, and get it all done in one shot, print it all off, pull out all the parts not being used, and get them all ready to go on the pieces, apply them all, and then go back in and do the actual stenciling, and then peel it all, and in all that on Saturday, in between the stenciling part, the painting of the stencil part and pulling it and finishing it up. We did a Costco run, so I've got big jars and containers out. I haven't put away yet. Usually Mondays are my catch-up day because the kids are all back in school, and that's when I get my laundry caught up. That's when I get my dishes caught up and my counters washed down and all that good stuff. But with this show coming up, I needed to get these painted, and then I've got in my previous video I showed 2 metal chairs. I'm gonna go get those done this afternoon. I am gonna take a wire brush to them, and I'm going to get all the little paint chips off and then spray them with a resist so they quit rusting, and it leaves that cool chippy look still on it. So that will be this afternoon. I also have 2 little kid chairs, wooden ones that are really sturdy, really good condition for their age, heavy, and they have really thick white vinyl paint over orange, not vinyl, I'm sorry, latex paint. White latex paint over orange latex paint right now, and I need to get that sanded off, at least enough where I can get good adherence of the paint that I like, which I typically use chalk paint, and typically, almost always, it's gonna be Dixie Belle paint or DIY paint. Those are my 2 favorites. And then I'll get those chairs done, and then I also, my friend from high school, Greta, saw some really cool things on Facebook Marketplace, knows that I love to finish them, and picked them up for me and then delivered them, and I got to see her for the first time in 28 years, and not that I'm admitting I'm that old. And they are these really adorable, nice heavy wood little dressers. Jewelry box, they could be a jewelry box, they could be for like American Girl doll clothes, or perfect for so many things, for craft storage. I already have in my head what I'm gonna do on one of them, and you're just gonna have to wait and see. I do have the paints for them up here though, so those also need sanded down. They have some latex paint on them right now, but I know how I'm gonna finish the one. I haven't decided on the other, but those are my afternoon project, probably after the boys get home from school. I'll sit out in the driveway, get them all sanded down. Then at least I have one of them inside to hang with Char and the dog. My dog is usually pretty good, but she likes to go in the rooms when nobody's in there, and she will poop still. So it's always a good idea to have boys in our kid in the house to help with them. And I'm gonna swap out my little container here that's holding my phone. Hold on. All right. Alrighty, so this last tray is gonna be caviar. Let's see if I can get it open. Sorry. I don't want to have to. Sometimes. What's going on? Oh my gosh, Molly, lay down. Molly. Our kitten likes to torture the dog. And that's what you hear back there, is her kind of wanting to play, kind of not. She definitely is a troublemaker, most definitely. And if you're at our house last night around midnight, she got her head stuck in a glass jar in my craft area. And when she did that, she was hitting her, hitting her head up against the wall with the jar on it. It was definitely an interesting time. We're gonna get the brush wet. Need this one done. This will probably definitely need 2 coats because again, I'm painting raw wood and it'll just soak this paint up. It'll get in there good. It'll have decent coverage, but for what I'm going for, it'll just look like a wash if I leave just one layer on it. So we'll do a second coat of this paint on it. That's the neighbor's dog barking, not mine. My windows are open. It is a gorgeous morning. It was a little bit chilly when I woke up with Todd this morning at before 4 a.m. It was definitely chilly.
Mom, I'll go play Play-Doh.
Okay, you go play with your Play-Doh. Do you want me to shut off the TV?
No,
Why?
because.
But you're not watching it.
Well, I can't.
And you'll notice I use different type brushes. I have not taken the plunge into the super expensive brushes. I do have a couple, but not a lot, and I do love them very much and probably use them less than my others just because I love them so much that I don't want my overuse ruining them. This one is a Wooster. I love the short handle. I picked this one for this black because I'm going to be doing that bread box next, and it has some parts where I'm going to have to get into some areas that might not be conducive to a long handle. So,
Oh, my bullet pin.
oh my goodness, what happened?
It's not breaky.
It didn't break. Well, that's good.
It's not break.
Almost done with this, and then I'll show you that bread box. Okay. Again, these trays were $1.99. I will probably charge, and they're pretty lightweight. They're not like heavy duty ones. These ones I'll probably charge 12 to 15 once I have them completely finished. And then this piece, once it's done, will probably be 30 to 40. And the bread box will be a $40 bread box. Most of my bread boxes I do for 30. and they usually sell super duper fast for me. Like before I even really get a chance to share pictures, typically, they sell really good for me. This next one I'm going to show you, and then I've got one downstairs too that I just got this weekend that I paid more for than I've ever paid for a bread box. And that one, oh, it's beautiful. It is an antique. It's not even vintage, and most of the pieces I end up getting are vintage. It is definitely an antique, and it is so beautiful. It's got a glass insert on the front, and the glass is textured, and it's got some inlay on the top part of it. It's beautiful, and I actually think I'm gonna clean it up and just leave it, which I haven't done in a while to a piece, but I think that's what I'm gonna do with that one, is just leave it. And let's get this swapped out, and I'll show you this amazing bread box.
I need scissors.
Okay, let me move
I
this.
need scissors.
You need scissors?
Yeah, are they?
I don't know where they are. Are they in your basket? So this is the bread box.
They're right on the table.
And, well, some people would say, oh, it's perfect the way it is. It's really dated. And it definitely needs painted regardless. As you see, it's got the two knobs, but this is not a drawer. It lifts up, and it's got a little bit. And as you can see, there we go. There's our bread area. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this black, and then I will be distressing it back to show the green, and have that green pop through, and probably the wood too. And I'm not sure, again, on whether or not I'm going to keep those knobs. I am going to take them off here in a second and get those off, so I can decide if I'm going to keep them, paint them, or what I'm going to do. So we'll go ahead and start by doing that. So this has already been wiped out. I wiped all these out and wiped them all down when I had them downstairs. And I had planned on working on them down there. So they're all ready to be done. While the paint I like usually says no prep necessary, I do always wipe down. Sometimes I'll sand, sometimes I'll prime, depending on what it is, how slick the wood is, what I want the finish to look like. Because what this looks like can greatly depend on a messy. I get paint everywhere when I paint. It's terrible. But what the finish is originally can determine how my finish with the paint I apply will turn out. So knowing that I don't care if this chips a little bit or gets that distressed look, I'm fine with that, because I'm going to distress this anyways. And again, since this is a countertop piece, even though this back is not a finished back, and this is afterboard, I will probably still paint it anyways. A lot of times on my bread boxes, I do stenciling. Words tend to do really well in my bread boxes, whether it's farmhouse or blessed or baked fresh daily, farmer's market, pretty much anything I've had really good luck with. So I'm not sure what I'm going to stencil on this one yet. I haven't decided. And I haven't decided if it'll go on the front, if it'll go on the sides or if it'll go on the top. Again, I knew I was gonna do this black. I have it in my head is black, so I'm gonna paint it black and go from there. If I do stenciling, I might do it in this color, the sea glass, or in DIY Apothecary. I will sometimes use that too. It's one of my favorites. That's a color that it seems no matter what object I paint that color, it usually sells right away. That color is just it's very similar to the sea glass, maybe just a bit darker than that. And it just sells very well. It's a very in color right now. With it being fall officially today and winter coming up, I have been trying to do some black pieces in there. A lot of my signs for this upcoming show are indeed black. A lot of them are chalkboard. I have a bunch of chalkboard ones I did up, and I'll get those shared soon, probably to Instagram and hence my Facebook page. And this is definitely going to take 2 coats. On this one, I normally seal my bread boxes with just wax. This one I may do an actual sealer on the top because of the size of it and the fact that the top does flip up. So I may do an actual, it's a water-based sealer, but I may actually throw that on the top of this one, just to give it a little bit more durability than the wax does. I love the wax. I love the feel it gives it. I love the look. But this one I think is gonna need just that extra love. So. Once this front is dry, I will pull the door down and paint the edges on the inside. I usually leave the insides clean. Whatever the original was, I'll clean it up, like I said, really well. Especially the inside, I'll clean it up again once I'm all done. And get that done. But it already looks better in my opinion. So much better. But I will get it all cleaned up on the inside, and what you hear rolling around is just the handles in there right now. I'll get it all cleaned up and leave that inside, but paint the little edges so that's none of the green, because in between here there's a little rim of wood that needs to be painted, and you can see the green through the front, and if I were to zoom in you could see it.
Mom, can I go play my toy?
Sure. I had hoped to get a bunch of this done yesterday, but I just, with it being football Sunday and my boys and my husband all love football, and we do have a family fantasy football league, so we definitely watch as many of the games as we can. And I just didn't get accomplished what I wanted to yesterday. I did end up doing laundry and did sheets. stuff like that. So I just didn't get done what I wanted to get done yesterday for work stuff. So I figure I got to get all of it done today, or a bunch of it done today. Tomorrow will probably be more of a working on my phone. Typically I would be listing pieces, but since I have the festival coming up, I'm not listing or relisting what I have online right now. I am just going to get just pictures for my Instagram, because I try to have a daily update on there just to keep people interactive, and then that gets immediately shared to my Facebook. I will get some pictures done of the pieces I do have downstairs. I've got not just signs done right now, I've got some other stuff too. I mean, there's a couple other pieces I'm planning on bringing with. Tomorrow we'll be getting stencils done. I've got a few things that need stenciled already downstairs in a pile, and then the 3 trays we just did, and then this. And I'm not sure on that what I'm gonna do yet. I really am not having an inspirational moment on that yet. But tomorrow will most likely, morning anyways. Todd's off Tuesday, Wednesdays, so my work schedule is a little different. A lot of times he will go fishing on Tuesdays, typically with his brother. So just depending on what he has planned. I know they talked yesterday, it's supposed to be beautiful again tomorrow, and that it'd be a great day to go fishing. They know they're limited at this point with fall weather setting in. So if he goes fishing, I will stay home, get all the kids off, and then do my stencils and get all those made, applied, and hopefully painted. And then in the afternoon, hopefully I will have everything sanded from outside. I also have started in the garage a vintage wooden high chair that I've done in a beautiful farmhouse green. What is wrong? What? What you need? What do you need? I just have one side left to paint.
Yeah, but I can't play my toys.
Why can't you play with your toys?
Because
what, love? What's wrong? Did you put all your Play-Doh away? Let's get it all put in your containers, and then we'll go see what's up. I'm almost done, and I'll stop recording after I'm done with this side, and then we'll get her toy situation figured out. I have no idea what's going on. She's back in the room playing in her bedroom. And the side is done. All right, and like I said, it already looks better. You do see some of the green still peeking through, and that will all be fully covered on this next layer. And again, I'll get, you can see here, there's that lip that'll need painted, and then the edges of the door will need painted. There's plenty of clearance to do them. Sometimes I do them. If they're natural wood, I will probably leave it just because it makes it easier to open and close. So that just always just varies depending on the piece. And now I've got a fingerprint, so let me get that. All right, well, that's what I worked on this morning. Again, I've got a list of other things I'm gonna get done today. I'm hoping to get some video up for those, and then I'll get them posted and share more of my DIY and how my prep for my festival is. Thanks for checking in and subscribe. Thanks.